Hey, fam.
Hey.
Who was just playing bumping music? Danny's super quiet for me now. Now that we switched from Discord to StreamYard.
I think it was a real world issue. I was a tad far from my mic.
Are you currently set up in such a way that you have to like lean forward deeply into like a hip stretch to hang with us?
Exactly. I am in my nephew's bedroom at his mother's house while he is with Justin. And so I am just hanging out in this miniature. Well, the room's not miniature, but everything in here is like small. Besides the bed. Bed's normal sized.
That's adorable. Yeah, it's like some things, the setup on the floor feels cozy and great, but when you have a short mic stand, you really do have to engage those hips.
Mm-hmm.
It brings me back to the old heavenly hip openers exercise sequence that I learned when I was first dabbling with video yoga before the rise of yoga with Adrian, believe it or not. Some things cannot be forgotten. And for me, heavenly hip openers is on that list. How about y'all? Any strange things from your video educational past that you can't forget? Gus is just cracking up. And you're muted for me, Gus. For some reason. We will be patient.
Here at Dustfire Media, we thrive on technical difficulties.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Gus, we still can't hear you.
Poor Gus.
Oh, no.
Forever trapped in a room, able to hear us, but not to communicate back.
I mean, I did 2 years of college over Zoom. So a lot of that stuck with me. My friend took a shop class over Zoom. That was really useful, I'm sure. Well, that was like, the class was happening March 2020, so it wasn't supposed to be like a shop class over Zoom. But the professor was really committed, and he would go to the woodworking shop every day and like make things on Zoom, and they would all watch. And that was the class, and they all got A's.
In some respects, not a bad class, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. I did my classes for college all online, so all sorts of videos for that. But it was more self-guided. Like we didn't have any Zoom meetings. They had modules up for us to watch when we could.
Unacceptable. Nikki, it is mandatory that you attend a synchronous class to watch someone build stuff every week.
No, it's true. I mean, getting a theater degree online was fun, guys. It was a lot of fun.
We had one class where we actually I forget what the class was called because it was one of my like first years, and we were broken up into groups, and we were supposed to like do some like basically build something. But because we're online, we're spread out everywhere, so we were all supposed to like take cardboard and test it because we had to make like a cardboard chair. And like one person in general was going to like make the actual big cardboard chair, but it just did not work out very well because we were not, we couldn't communicate that well.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Hi, guys.
There you are.
Freaking OBS updated while we were in our Discord green room, and all the things changed to default, and I had to adjust.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
As Danny said, we thrive on technical difficulties.
I know.
Am I even doing my best work if something isn't on fire?
It depends. You work at a circus?
I have considered it, but I'm no linen cloth.
Good thing is all the filters are on. We're fine. I was cracking up at your heavenly hip openers comment. I don't know why. It was just so like the words heavenly and hips and openers
Mhm.
all together
Mhm.
just made me laugh.
Straight from the Bible.
Great. Nothing more heavenly than a pair of hips opening.
Oh no.
I can see why that combo of words would impact you, and they did stay with me. I haven't forgotten that that's the name of the exact yoga video in sequence. Justin wrote, what was it, in Twitch? Steve, I'm your age, and I don't know what you're talking about. So this could have been contemporaneous with the period in which Yoga with Adrian was rising into popularity, but there was still websites, not YouTube, there were still websites where people did things like pre-record, packages of yoga videos and sell them. And those sites were still doing okay back then. I doubt they are now. Maybe they're just all extinct. But this was called yogadownload.com. And we had like a subscription. And before it ended, I downloaded a bunch of videos while I still had access. And that one was the best. It was so intensive and psychological for me. Like the stretches were so intense and so prolonged that by the time I got to the end of it, I was like barely mobile. Like felt like soup in human form or human in soup form, or either one. I'll take both. And I still don't actually know in the end whether like it's needed to do that degree of hip stretching or if it's good for me. Because like for like 2 to 3 days afterwards, it's like I can feel that something is not right with me in my hips. But maybe that's a needed reset. It's like when you don't feel right if you break down muscle. I don't know.
Maybe every now and then you just need to stretch your hips out that deeply.
Should get yoga from Amuk.
Heavenly. I'm like looking up heavenly hip openers now. And this might be kind of dangerous.
It could be. It could be. The yoga instructor was Jackie Casal Maru. I'll put that in our private chat.
Okay. Free advertising.
I mean, who knows if she is up there, but
Hatha yoga with Rachel Scott, heavenly hips yoga flow, hip opener, hip stretching with Heaven Liu, beginner friendly. Hatha yoga with Melissa Krieger, deep hip opening flow. Cakes from heaven. Try these 3 high kick hip openers.
I thought you said cakes from heaven.
Listen, that'd be a great. I would attend that yoga class.
Cakes from heaven, baby.
As long as it doesn't involve a reformer.
Say about cakes?
So many things that I'd love to say about cake. It's delicious.
Well, we have a heavenly opener tonight, y'all.
Yes.
No recap for us from last week. We should open tonight, I believe, on the very dark vault.
Oh dear. Where are my eyes?
The sounds of alarms still blaring further up the ladder access that you descended deep into the earth beneath Air Temple Island. You are in the dark, using sound to navigate and fight these automata. Shadowpaw is with you, but before the lights went out, you saw her get seriously wounded with a retractable blade that was launched and sent into her thigh. You have done a number on these machines. They have done perhaps a greater number on you. You're both at 5 fatigue.
Some of that was self-inflicted, but yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think my last one was self-inflicted. Which is a choice.
Totally cleared one and then used it up again.
Smart moves. Smart moves. Maybe the world has done a number on you, more than just these robots at this point.
Accurate.
Oh, life. We mark much fatigue in the game of life. I think we were just wrapped up with what Jing Min and Fumi did. And the automata have also done their move out of turn, I confessed last time, based on the sequence of things. And now Shadowpaw. And it's interesting because I can't just put the camera on Shadowpaw in the dark. And so I wonder what you hear from this move, if anything. But yeah, Danny.
Also, you can just do what they do in some movies like Lord of the Rings and Mad Max and just shoot night in the day and just add a blue effect to it. So
okay. Yeah.
Maybe we shot this scene in the light, but then just in post we darkened the scene. So
yeah.
Darkened just enough so we can still see it.
I think. Ooh. I think something that you would be able to see that is also an evade and observe technique, and so I could use it at the end of our exchange sequence here, is an electromagnetic shield. I haven't leaned into this a ton, but Shadowpaw is a technologist. She threw an EMP to you, concerned that she wouldn't be able to use it herself at the right moment. Jing Min then decided that that was the right moment.
Hot potato.
But yeah, let's put the camera on Shadowpaw. You look over, and there's just a flash as an electromagnetic field activates around Shadowpaw's figure, illuminating the room suddenly, casting a stark, bright white light on the figures of these hummingbird automata. And this blast sends back the automata from Shadowpaw's position. You see now, as everything is lit up for a moment, how close they were to her. That cable attached to the retractable blade was used to draw them in on her position, but she had removed it, held on to it, lured them towards her, and now with this blast, she sends them back. I'm going to mark a fatigue for Shadowpaw. Are either of you holding any metallic objects?
I was.
You were, but you threw it.
I just have the I have the boomerang. I have the pocket watch.
Okay, just a pocket watch. Don't think that'll be super consequential. I'm checking because it says anyone holding a metallic object must either immediately move away, disengage with Shadowpaw if they were engaged. That's not y'all, or mark 2 fatigue to stay engaged. So I don't think it'll apply here to you. I think you just feel a little bit of the electricity in the air, and almost like a light, what's the best word? Like an uncomfortable tingling where you have that watch, Fumi.
Okay.
I'm going to say that the bots also move back since they can't mark any fatigue to stay engaged. Yes, Danny.
Oh yeah, sorry. Gold is not conductive, right? Because I think the only thing that technically would be like of a metal would be like Jing Min's gold hairpin.
Gold is conductive. It's actually one of the best conductors, which is why we use it for the tip of all high quality guitar cables.
Oh.
And I only know that because of being in metal bands.
That would suck if Jing Min's hairpin electrifies her head.
No, don't worry. It doesn't specify that we have to mark fatigue for anybody who's wearing jewelry.
Okay.
But in similar fashion, you feel like a strange sensation, like where that pin is in your hair. It's not quite against like flesh against skin, but it's
over hair stands
like,
up maybe.
Yeah, a little bit of sizzle going on in the air. It just doesn't feel right. It's like if you've ever been to Pikes Peak, the atmosphere is so thin that there are signs warning everybody that if they feel crackling in the air around their skin to take shelter immediately, because that's the formation of lightning. I don't recommend visiting Pikes Peak, by the way. Great views, but you can get great views in a lot of places. You don't need to.
This is where there's no chance of dying.
Yeah, you don't need to do all that. Anyway, more on Pikes Peak later if my desire to share about my trauma allows it. We are at the end of that exchange. We're about to go into the next one as everything dims back down to that same darkness, and you just hear the shuffle of Shadowpaw as she advances on the now revealed location of the automata. What do? You can also do things between exchanges narratively, by the way. If you wanted to assess anything, look around, figure out something related to your environment. We know that we are expecting, because of these alarms, that people will be coming down, personnel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Jing Min will shout out. Sorry.
There you go. Go ahead.
No, Jing Min will shout out, "We need to hurry! Someone's probably coming, and I don't know if we can actually beat them before that happens."
Yeah, I think that Fumi is going to evade and observe.
Okay. All right. What stance are you choosing, Jingmin?
I'm trying to decide if I... Okay, whatever. We're fighting. I'm defending and maneuvering.
Let me check in. When you say evade and observe and choose that stance, Nikki, is your intention just to choose a technique and go into the next round of exchange? Or are you hoping to more fully disengage, like do something like not fight? I'm curious.
You probably use a technique.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Because if you were like using that as your way of saying, I'm going to try to get out of all this.
No.
I would
think it's
follow up
more
with questions about how. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more because of the alarms going off too. Like if people come down, she wants to be ready.
Yeah. Okay. And Danny, what did you say Jingmin's stance was?
Defend and maneuver.
Okay. And if I am correct, you still have prepared. Is that right, Jingmin?
Yes, from pinpoint aim.
Okay. Cool. We have passed on the rounds where the automata could not act due to impairment and stunned, etc. I think this time around they will advance an attack. Let's start with you, Jingmin.
Okay. I'm going to roll, first of all.
It might help.
That is a 7. Yeah, I'm not going to use prepared. Prepared, I can unmark to avoid taking a condition or take a +1, right? Or is it +2?
I think it's a +2 value.
Okay, yeah, because looking at this...
One.
Oh, it does. Sorry, yep. +1 to an appropriate action after the roll. Yep.
Yeah, I was confused because on our character sheet it says +2, but I'm pretty sure on the core rulebook it says +1. So
yeah,
I'm not going to use that. So I will take that 7, and I will seize a position. We haven't even found out how to use the vault door, how to open it.
No, not yet. You guys have not paid attention to it or asked about it. You've been otherwise occupied.
Okay, I'm going to use I'm using steady stance.
Okay.
So yeah, Jing Min just knocks an arrow, draws back, and just stands there and hopes for maybe another thing like what happened last time. Maybe there's like another like electromagnetic field blast, or maybe there's another spark in the air that reveals for a split second where the mecha is, but she just sort of takes a deep breath and just waits for that perfect moment. And so it reads, any foes engaged with me who choose to advance and attack this exchange must mark 1 fatigue. Negate the first condition or negative status inflicted on you in this exchange. If no conditions or negative statuses were inflicted on you in this exchange, become empowered for the next exchange.
Okay. Very cool.
Nice.
So the mecha will, once they advance and attack, they'll have to mark 1 fatigue if they engage with me.
Yeah. Well, I dig that. You got to run these things into the ground, and we're very close. I'm already pre-marking that fatigue, just so you know, Danny.
Oh, nice. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I think we do see another spark fly illuminating Jing Min's face and her posture as she's set up this stance, this position. As far as the automata go, I think I need to grab another attack here. Ooh. I said no to chainsaws. We have a projectile claw and a retractable spike. Yeah. Let's go with projectile claw. Jing Min. As that spark fades from some clash between Shadowpaw and the automata, you just catch a glimpse of this pincer claw fired at you on a metal line. I'm going to inflict 2 fatigue on you. I have to mark fatigue for myself to engage you because of steady stance. But I would like for you to mark impaired if you are not yet impaired. Are you already impaired?
I am not already impaired. I am going to unmark prepared, though, to avoid taking that.
Okay. Fair.
And 2 fatigue. So since I'm at 5 fatigue, would that mean I have to mark 2 conditions? Or I forget how it works. Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
It spills over into conditions. Yeah.
No.
And I forget if steady stance gave you anything to prep as far as reducing or removing the first condition that you'd be forced to mark. But
that's funny. I actually cannot use prepared to avoid taking impaired because impaired is not a condition and prepared only avoids taking conditions.
That's right.
Steve, you're the GM. What's happening first, the fatigue or the impaired?
Yeah, let's say that the first thing that's happening is the fatigue.
Okay. I have to choose to.
I'm picturing that having to do with the impact of the projectile claw.
Yes. So I have to choose to. I think I'm gonna do afraid and angry.
Afraid and angry.
Yes.
Just give us a little something about that, Danny. Why do you think that's what Jing Min's feeling?
Well, it's completely pitch black. She cannot see anything, and she's getting smacked by these claws coming from nowhere. And so that terrifies her, but it also really pisses her off. Like she's so frustrated, but also scared that like, you know, if another claw comes and just hits, you know, the wrong spot, it might seriously harm her. But this does bring up another question having to do with prepared. Can I unmark prepared to avoid one of those conditions I marked, even though it's from the fatigue rolling over?
Ooh. Avoid marking a condition is what it says. It doesn't say if it has to be a direct causal condition or if it's the type that happens from spillover fatigue. So I think
Okay.
it works.
So I'm going to unmark prepared to unmark angry because she's been able to become more in control of those. So now she's just scared.
Wait, doesn't steady stance also let you negate one, or does that not stack with prepared?
Yeah, check on that, Danny. You have
Oh
steady
yeah,
stance
it
pull up?
does say negate the first condition your negative status effect inflicted on you. So I guess I wouldn't take any of the conditions, but I would be
Well
impaired.
chosen. Well
So
chosen.
there was a quick moment where she was angry and afraid, and then she's like, "Wait a minute, I don't have to be."
It says
She, like,
avoid marking a condition, so you
heals
flirted
herself.
with you flirted with the idea of being
Yeah.
terrified and pissed off.
I'm so dumb. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. There's a few factors to track here. So thanks for that support, Negi. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you just got the impaired status for as long as this claw stays on you, and you know based on watching these bots fight Shadowpaw that this also is obviously a way for them to keep track of your location, Jing Min. And they could pull on that thing to pull you towards them or to come towards you. Either way, you're on a string attached to your enemy.
I don't like that.
Well, I think let's go to Fumi rather than Shadowpaw.
Okay. Let me roll for evade and observe. And I'm rolling with harmony. I just rolled a 10 plus 1 for harmony, so that's an 11.
You love to
Okay.
see it.
I know.
Let's go.
She's so powerful.
Yeah.
You unmarked that fatigue, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yep, clear that fatigue for using evade and observe.
But I think I'm going to just remark it to use a learn technique. I'm
Okay.
not even going to bother unmarking it.
We are playing with fire here, Nikki.
I know.
We are playing with fire.
Yeah, we are.
There's not even a firebender in our party.
Hey,
And I got
that's a
rid of
school
all the fire
spot.
earlier. Anyway, she is going to use air scooter. So she is going to summon a ball, like a ring of air under her, to kind of like move around them so she can get a better look at both them and the door where people might come in. And it says, while riding it, you are favored, and you can sacrifice your air scooter to avoid marking fatigue or conditions when you are struck by an attack.
I
That
love
is so
that.
cool. The legendary air scooter makes an appearance outside of the vault of Aang's staff. I just
Yeah.
have to say, they're so playful with it, but like when you look at the air scooter in the show, like think about how complex it is to like
Oh yeah.
spin an orb of air and like rotate the orb in such a way that you direct yourself and keep it under your person. It's crazy that Aang developed this technique.
Yeah. No, I
But-
saw someone like breaking down the animation of how like it's so accurate, how it's so hard to control. It was great.
That's fair. That is so fair. But in this case, Fumi, you do control it. And you probably look more impressive than young Aang would on an air scooter, I feel like. Between like the outfit and like the muscly physique, just feel like it's there. I feel like Fumi's
Yeah.
air scooter feels more like pro-bendery energy.
She is all ready to get the staff.
Yeah. So with that, I'm curious. So you're moving around the room on this
Mhm.
scooter. It gives you this kind of defensive buffer. Are you looking for things while you do this?
She's looking for a good angle on the mechs,
Okay.
like getting behind them or.
Yeah, I mean, you are just able to see that projectile claw, and so you're able to air scooter around to the opposite position, opposite Jing Min, and so you know, based on the cable and the direction that it's running, that you are behind them now, if you want to use that in some way.
Okay.
Is there anything else that I missed that I need to mark mechanically related to the automata because of air scooter?
No. It's just for me, I'm favored and I can sacrifice it later if they do attack me.
Okay. That's so epic, being favored. All right, let us cut to the one and only Amuk Sur. We'll get to you, Jinkies. I know you're chilling.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. You just said cut, and I like suddenly perked up. I was like, oh shh.
Is it me? Is it me?
I'm good. I'm
I
good.
just love the idea of Jinkies being just like, I'm so just comfortable.
No, I am. I'm doing great. You guys can split this episode. I'm gonna sit right here. Have fun.
Just eating the food provided in the library.
At this point, just roll a dice or flip a coin to choose which party you just teleport Lynn to.
Inexplicable. You appear. Amuk, we open on a very dramatic scene. You standing over President Moon, a president of Republic City, who you have brought to her knees to perform this important procedure. I think you used a good word for it that I wanted to remember, but I can't remember it right now. Deprogramming. I think that was the word you used last time. You are trying to deprogram President Moon. You have the helmet apparatus on her. You have your thumb on her forehead. You're doing all you can to focus your energy and your efforts. And you are mouthing aloud the words that were taught to you as best as you can remember them. Instructing Moon on who she really is and to forsake whatever instructions the Red Lotus have imparted to her. And after you do all that you can remember to do, you stop and you assess. Gus, remind me, if you remember, I think you rolled in the mid-range on this. And I think we made it rely on your skills and training. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, because that's focus, right?
It is, Gus. It is. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you got it right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got it right. But with these unexpected consequences mechanically for relying on your skills and training, I'm supposed to give you at least something that you can do to mark a fatigue and resist those consequences a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's rewind it just a touch. In the middle of the procedure, something that you weren't prepared for or expecting happens, which is that President Moon starts like convulsing a little bit, trying to force out words through gritted teeth. There's a real sense of struggle, maybe pain, physical, psychological, you're not sure. And she's just, no. I must do my duty. Arguing with you, contending with you as you read these instructions.
Duty.
Indeed, duty. You can accept what is unfolding before you, or you can mark a fatigue if you have fatigue to mark.
So, remind me,
Mhm.
the fatigue. If I mark the last fatigue, that takes me out of the scene, or it doesn't take me out of the scene?
It does not. It does not. You can mark up to 5, but if 5 are already marked, you cannot willfully mark more fatigue.
More fatigue. Okay.
If you are caused to mark fatigue while at 5, it spills over into conditions 1 for 1.
Gotcha. Okay. I will mark a fatigue
Okay.
to deal with President Moon's convulsions, putting me at 5 fatigue.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Okay.
So good.
Yeah. And so I'm curious, what do you think this looks like? You could take any direction you like, Gus.
I think she falls from her knees onto her back, and it's like not full epileptic tremors, but like actual, like, you know, when you're kind of like fighting a cold and you get like those fever chills. Picture it like more like that, where it's just that like that amount of flailing.
Yeah, like what Danny's doing right now.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
Danny does whenever he has fever chills.
And I think Amuk will kind of see that and just try to do normal water bending technique healing, just to kind of keep everything centered instead of using any other sort of extraneous type of bending.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, you try to steady Moon while you're doing this, and to spare whatever you can of your mind and energy left to provide, I would say, maybe a bit of calm. It's like sort of the spirit of healing and waterbending, because the full heal would be like a whole focused craft, right? But you try to provide this gentle healing touch to steady her, and eventually her resistance ceases. There's a strange, almost stillness or calm in the room when it is done, Amuk. Moon blinks, looking up at you as though seeing you for the first time. Where? Oh. She pushes herself up. You helped me. She like looks around. She sees the broken apparatus of the glove component. She sees the mechanical arm in the room, taking in her surroundings. I have not been myself, have I?
No, you've been under the influence of something called Cabbage Kush. And a little bit more. I'm not really sure the best way to explain it. But if you feel like you can start to move, we need to leave now.
What is your name?
Amuk will put his hand out as to offer it to help her up and just say, my name is Amuk.
Amuk, thank you. Are you one of my own? A detective or personnel?
This will be easier to explain once we're safe. But I was sent here to help you by a separate party.
Okay. I don't know how to get you out of here then, I'm afraid. Security measures are quite strict.
It shouldn't be okay. I think if you leave without me near you, you should be okay. Meet me at Dumpy's if you can.
Dumpies. They're back?
Yeah, they've been back for a little while. I'm not to toot my own horn, but quarter
Well,
owner.
surely it can't be as good as it once was.
It's not. It's even better than it was.
Well, that is heartening news. Well, Amuk, from another party, I will arrange for this meeting at Dumpy's. I need to collect myself. Think on what I've been doing and left undone. You know that you cannot trust anyone here. You are not safe.
Yeah, I might have an idea of how to get out of here. But it's going to be a little tricky because Avatar Korra is on the other side of that door right now.
Yes. I'll do my best to deal with her.
Mook is going to pick up some of the wreckage of her robot arms stuff and start to like put it around his neck and just say, we're gonna play Possum Beaver.
Gus's face is just priceless while being like, this thing.
I was trying to combine two animals that platypus possum. That works better.
Oh my god! Ow!
I liked possum beaver, but I don't know what it means yet, so we'll see. Okay, so platypus possum.
Platypus possum. We're gonna play platypus possum in hopes of.
Is that terrifying?
Yeah.
The idea of a platypus possum.
In hopes of hopefully you telling Avatar Korra to take my dead body and to just dump it.
You're going to play dead.
Yeah.
She can feel your breath, read your pulse, can she not, Amuk?
No, there's a thing I can do that will help with that if we can make it work. But you need to really convince her that I am not here.
I see. I wonder if even getting this plan in the works, getting her to agree to this requires a roll.
I think it does.
I think it could be fun to see what happens if you do a plead.
Plead. Which one is that?
Like it goes just goes for the question.
Is it creativity? It makes sense if it'd be creativity, but it's not, is it?
It is harmony. But I appreciate the guess, and it makes sense to me that you would plead creatively, but harmony it is.
That's my worst stat.
You are pleading with an NPC for action or support. What do you got?
All right, so harmony is a -1, which is not great for me. Okay, so that's a 6 and a 4.
Okay.
Minus 1 is a 9.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So a weak hit. Yeah, on a 7 to 9, they need a little something more. Evidence that this is the right course, guidance in making the right choices, or resources to aid them before they act. I'll tell you what they need. Let's see. I'm wondering maybe a demonstration, but that may require you to exert yourself in some way. I'm wondering possibly if she needs assurance regarding what to say to get Cora off of your case. She begins to plead back, Amuk. I just don't see if you were to sneak out while I cause a diversion, wouldn't that be better? I guess I've never seen someone play dead before, and
the same way I stopped you from hurting me, I should be able to stop my heart for a little while. However,
is concerning.
It would be easier if you were to leave victorious for them to think nothing is wrong with you than for you to create a distraction for me to sneak away.
Very well. Then we should dispose of this, no? She points at the apparatus that you had placed on her head.
Yeah. Amuk will just start smashing it with ice and just fragments and fragments and fragments.
Okay.
I really hope that's not the only one of these they have.
Indeed. I think this is enough of that something more to round out the plan. So you will place yourself in this mechanical grip?
Yeah. It should still be working enough to at least hold it down, or at least look like you pushed the air out of me.
Yeah, Amuk, the part that was broken is the part that you broke. That was, her device for controlling the arm. So that the rest of it, yeah, you can definitely move in position around you. She tries to tweak it a bit, has to connect a wire or two, and then at least gets it to squeeze you. You can feel yourself, held fast in this, vice grip. It's still possible to break out of it, but if you were to go limp, you would be held in place. And President Moon presses a button on the panel and speaks through it. Cora, let me out. The threat has been neutralized. And you hear on the other side of that steel door that you snuck in through not long ago, Amuk, the ice recedes, and the door opens, and Cora walks in with her fists raised.
I was gonna say, as the door starts to open, Amuk is going to do a diver's breath, essentially. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what that's like.
Only a little. Tell us more.
A little. It's like that 3 quick succession of breaths out, in, to just dump as much air out of his body as he can. And for the first time ever, he's going to taste pennies in his mouth and try to bloodbend his own heart to stop it.
Holy spirits.
Why not just slow it down, man?
I mean,
Christ.
slow it down. Slow it
I
down
have
enough so it seems like it stops.
Questions. I have a lot of questions.
We're not flatliners over here. Oh my god.
Amuk
actually
is
sort of
going
think
to the
biological questions
ancestral
about
plane. Oh, he's gonna slow it down. Okay, you're right. Not stop it. Stopping it's not the right phrase.
Yes.
Slow it down enough so it's no longer
Mhm.
God.
So like a pulse wouldn't be felt type of a deal.
felt.
Oh,
Holding his
that's
breath,
horrifying.
Ugh.
maybe icing up his body with his own blood a little bit, just to get a little bit of that cold limpness.
Whew. I should have been clear, earlier that for the freeze blood technique, which Amuk has, the book says it requires you to be favored, and there are different ways you can be favored. One of them is the full
empowered,
moon.
I thought it was.
Sorry, empowered. And so one of the ways that you can be empowered as a waterbender is a full moon or something like that. But this gives us wiggle room, as we've seen with characters as extreme in the canon as Amon. He was able to bend blood not on a full moon. And I like that this is a nod to that mechanically, that in this game, it's not like you have to have a full moon. Instead, it's like you just have to be empowered. You can be empowered in different ways. And so I should have specified some form of empowerment earlier, but I think certainly after seeing the success of your efforts to deprogram President Moon and to hatch a plan for your escape, you are empowered, Amuk. And you can cash that in right now as you slow your own heartbeat. You do go faint as you're doing this, though. It's like the world starts to go black, vision blurs at the edges until it's almost completely consumed. And you faintly hear Avatar Korra's voice. I need some answers. And she's looking at you, and President Moon puts up a calm hand and says, well, you won't get them from him. I'm afraid he's gone. And Korra, you could just see it out of the corner of your eye as you start to lose that vision and everything blurs. Amuk. Her jaw drops. She steps over. But before she examines you, she just quickly puts an arm around President Moon and escorts her out of the room. We have to get you to safety. I'm so sorry this happened. And her voice fades. Whether it's because she's stepped out of the room further into the hall, or because you're losing consciousness is hard to say.
Column A, a little bit column B.
Column B, column A. I think there has to be a mechanical thing here. This is such an experimental application.
Yeah. So I don't, because I can't willingly mark conditions, right? Like I have to take a fatigue and then I have to mark a condition.
If something allows you to, but we have also in the Flying Bison podcast found narratively appropriate opportunities to just mark a condition.
I feel like
say, I want to be mechanically angry or whatever.
Mechanically, narratively, I afraid should be marked in my conditions.
Okay. That feels like a
first time he's ever done this. First time he's ever like, oh, if this doesn't work, I gotta fight the Avatar, and I'm so eepy. Like, no,
so eepy. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. Let's I think this feels like a definitional push your luck.
Okay.
And so the cost may just be that. We'll see.
Okay. B T L B T L B T L.
L.
There was no delay.
Why is my brain not working? This should be easy math. Hold on.
It's okay.
Quick
The math will math.
Quick maths. Wait.
Do you want to read the numbers and then we can do it for you?
We're here together. We can do it together.
Describe how the shapes.
It's a water shape.
So
And
that
then-
could be a 6.
Oh, that's a 6.
And
That's a
then-
6.
And then it's the shape that looks like this one.
That's a 5.
And then
You're holding
I
a
get-
5.
So good.
I have a +2 to passion.
That's
Okay.
a 13. That's insane.
My brain
so
is
high.
not
Can you
one.
show us the dice? I just need. What do
I'm
you
so curious.
What it looks like this? Okay, yeah, that's a 5. That's a 5 and a 6. Yeah, okay, great.
That was just for the sake of the bit, but
These things happen. Computing is down.
it's like,
Well,
what's the computing setup?
An 11 is excellent. Your boldness pays off despite the cost. I think it's fine for the cost to be marking that condition. What other lucky opportunity falls into your lap?
Cora trips and twists her ankle.
That's a great one.
One could argue that it might not be connected to him, but maybe the mechas like deactivate.
President Moon shuts
At the
everything off
perimeter.
on her way out.
Yeah.
She trips. She falls.
Yeah.
Cora twists her ankle, goes into the avatar state, is out of it for 3 days.
Oh
Her
my
ankle never
god.
Heals for
Right.
That would suck if you get pushed into the avatar state from something as small as like spraining your ankle. Like, oh, I
Dang
stubbed my
it.
toe. No!
Playing 4. Yeah. I think
Avatar Road
the-
was like, oof, that ankle's never gonna be the same. Like it's good
Oh, no.
7 years.
For me, I'd be so like highly sensitive and irritable. I'd be like flossing at night and just like just go into the avatar state. Not again.
It's like
Exhausting. I think the sensible outcome here is that you were so convincing in that moment that Cora looked at you, Amuk, that she doesn't come back with maybe the vigilance she would have. You have more time. And she stays with Moon as your vision and your hearing come back to you, and you let up on your own efforts to manipulate your heart. You hear the fading footsteps. She's being brought to some other location. And as the time unfolds, alarms start to be silenced and reset. What do you do?
just instantly just oh god, I'm not doing that again. Oh, that hurt. Oh god, that hurt. And just wiggles his way out of the arm. It just like takes a second to just like feel his extremities, and he's just like, okay, those are still cold. That makes sense. Like feels his chest. He's like, oh, okay. And then just starts running, getting out of there as fast as possible.
Yeah. Amuk, I would love to give you victory, but it's too soon. This place has now, even though some stuff is starting to be turned off, everyone was just on high alert. Tons of personnel, mecha outside, police overhead. I am so curious, like, what a plan of escape will look like for you.
I'm
What
just
do you
gonna
do?
Walk out the front door. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean, Steve?
What do you mean? Everything's fine. Amuk will run out of the room he's in now,
Mm-hmm.
down the hall and go upstairs.
Okay.
Try to get to the roof.
Okay. I want even more. I think I'll grant that Amuk makes it past some of the guards, some of the internal personnel. Are you trying to exit the way you came in? Are you trying to go a different way out?
Gonna go a different way out. Amuk is gonna murder a guard. A la Silence of the Lambs, wear his face and his uniform and leave. He's a changed man. Death changes you.
Oh my!
Just straight up murder, not even knock him out.
No. Murder. He works for the government. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's
In
a lot to
Minecraft.
unpack in that sentence.
In Minecraft.
Like a lot.
That will go into the debrief. Yeah. I need to make a note to circle back on that.
It's actually a little known
Yeah.
rule of Avatar Legends. If you actually specify you're killing someone, there's no required roll. You can just do it. But
Yeah, that's how
I
that
just try not
works,
to
right?
tell anyone.
The showrunners and the animators did it to Jet. Why can't we do it to security guard
Yeah.
number 3?
Did he?
Yeah.
Did she die? Wasn't
Jet's
wasn't specified.
dead. It's not.
As
not
Azula
alive.
once said, I will end you permanently.
I've never heard more ways to say, like, I'm gonna kill
Kill?
you, or
Yeah,
something I
yeah.
don't like, than in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. Azula was full of them specifically, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just need to check here, Gus. How serious are you? You said you would wear his face.
That's pretty serious. No. That's not Amuk's plan. Amuk is going to
Okay.
look for a fireplace.
Oh, good old reverse Santa this ish.
Good old-
Okay.
I'm going to reverse Santa Claus and shoot out the fire chimney.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see the roll then, and we'll include in the scope of this roll the last bit of stealth. The fire is lit, so I'll have you, this incorporates cooling it off with water and climbing up a hot smoky chimney without
Smoky.
wheezing into a fit, asphyxiating, and falling back down the shaft.
They're already being so tired and
Yeah.
so exhausted.
What do we think this roll is, though? What do we think? I can't imagine it being easy enough to do anything but PTL.
This is PTL. This is PTL all the way.
All right, Amuk. Let's see it.
ETL.
PTL.
BTL. Okay, this math is way easier to do.
Phew.
It's an 11.
Okay.
Wow.
You say it's easier, but I guess it's 2 less than the last time.
Well, it's because it's a 6 and a 3, and my brain went,
Oh, there you go.
I know what those numbers are. 9.
+2 for passion.
That's 2 for passion.
All right. Your boldness pays off, Amuk. I think the cost here is another fatigue as you climb this hot chimney. And so you'll need to mark an appropriate condition. What do you think you'll choose?
Trouble.
That sounds fair. The lucky opportunity is that when you reach the top of the chimney and finally get that breath of fresher air, you look out over the mansion grounds and you do see that the automata are returning to their pods at the perimeter. and descending back into the earth from whence they came. There are still people around searching the grounds, hushed voices, kind of doing protocol and checking everything before they reset. But it seems like you'll be able to get back to the library. I did not know how that was going to go, Gus.
Me either. We got to hear a little bit of your Korra, which is exciting.
It's so hard to do something like that, because for me at least, because when I hear Korra's voice, like I played clips of her and I'm like, for some reason I can't sound like this, partly because it's not unique enough.
Yeah, I get that.
Partly because it's just me. I don't know. But if anyone else has Korra impressions, we'd love to hear them in Discord. I'm sure there's a recording feature that we can use there for voice memos or something. I think it'd be really fun to say that before we cut to anyone else in the party, that we cut to Korra. And she has escorted President Moon back to her bedroom. And in checking that everything's all right, she looks up at the skylight windows and sees one of them busted open with just a little bit of that water around the perimeter from the ice that you used to break the seal. Her eyelids just narrow. And, we don't hear her. We just see her bark an order and point at it. And then somebody else starts looking up at it and, gets on a walkie-talkie. And then we cut to Korra, and it's just faint, but she's walking back down the hall towards where Amuk was in haste. And she rounds the corner and opens that steel door to the panic room. And she just sees an empty mechanical arm. And we cut to Lynn and Cloth, who is likely having tea or something very chill. What do we see, Lynn?
She's sleeping.
Aww.
Everyone
fighting
else
for our lives.
fighting for their lives. Lynn learned how to make a rock column, guys. That's really exhausting. I don't think you get what it's like to be a girl these days. You know what I mean? Like, that's so hard. There's like a mini one, like, by her bed.
Mini rock column.
That's adorable.
She's like hung her jacket on it. And that's the scene.
Just bedside table.
Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Lynn, you rest for a time. And I'm going to say that when you wake up, the atmosphere has shifted a little bit in the library. There's more sounds of the voices of children. You noticed a steady trickle over the course of your time there. More and more people come in general. But some of the bookkeepers, the librarian's agents, have come in with people young and old, rescued from who knows what and brought here for safety. And you see children who look like they are wearing well-to-do clothes. You see children who look like they're certainly not. But at this point, things are getting tight on space. And there's just an area that they've set up as like a makeshift play area, but the kids are not playing. A lot of them just look distraught, worried, twiddling their thumbs, sitting next to each other in silence. I'm curious if Lynn would do anything.
You've got me worried.
Wasn't the last time Lynn was encountered with a group of children? Didn't they try to kidnap her?
Yes.
Yeah, not long ago.
But I mean, like, these kids are like poor, right? They're not gonna kidnap me.
Some of them are poor, you know.
Damn it, Steve, you
But-
ruined it. Wow.
But
now
what
we
am
can
I,
go
what
over
am I going
what
to tell you,
classism
Will?
now.
You can tell that just by looking at them. Come on, guys. What kind of people are we?
Bad ones. No, but Lynn,
Conjecture. You don't know for certain.
but Lynn is gonna go over, carefully put down the spiky rock column because it's dangerous with kids around.
Mm-hmm.
And just like approach a gaggle of children not doing anything.
You approach the gaggle,
Yeah.
and the children are sitting idly. Some of them seem nervous. Maybe one or two peek up at you and then avert their gaze and look back at their shoes.
Hey, you guys okay?
Mm-hmm. One of them nods.
It's not really convincing. Do you want to talk about it?
One of them chimes in. I don't know where my family is. Turtle Duck says maybe they got their brains changed.
Above table, Steve. This is so rude.
Oh,
I accept your feedback.
It's not serious feedback. Lynn's face changes. Like, oh, shit, okay. Oh, don't really know where my parents are either. But
Hmm.
the nice thing about adults is that they usually end up okay. They know what they're doing.
Hmm.
Did they, Turtle Duck, say anything else? Or just kind of that really kind of scary message?
Hmm. Mostly just the scary stuff, I guess.
Wow, that's
He
like
said I was smart to play platypus possum, though.
no, that is smart. I have to say that is smart. Good distraction. You know what? You should get to playing that. Because it's better to do that than do nothing, right? I mean, kind of boring to sit here doing nothing.
Well, that's kind of what platypus possum is. It's not really a game. It's where you just lie really still and pretend that you're not there.
What? I thought Platypus Possum was like a board game where you like climbed up the possums and slid down the platypi. Must be a regional thing. Okay.
I would like that game.
It's like a board game. There's another time. Maybe something else, a little happier.
Why are you covered in paint? She points at your. Do you
Hey.
still? Are you wearing your apron, Lynn?
Yeah.
Or are you just wearing? Okay, cool.
Oh, that's just. Hey, do you like platypus?
Platypus possums.
Or just like regular possums or regular platypus? You know, when they exist separately too.
Oh, I don't know. I've only ever seen platypus possums, but
Well, do you like those?
yeah, I think they look funny.
I think I know how to make your game 10 times better.
Okay.
Do you mind if I... And then Lynn's gonna take out her pains.
Go for it. I think there's a potential here for a roll,
Okay.
but I think I need to see if there's any, just a little something more, and it may not move in this direction. But
Okay.
what would you summarize as your aim here?
to convince the kids to let me paint them as platypus possums, so that as they're playing platypus possum, they at least look like them. Like if they're gonna be depressed, at least commit to the bit.
Okay.
Immersion can change so much.
Right.
Yeah. I was wondering if like plead or guide and comfort fit here, but as I read the text of those, I'm not like sure that it's actually the best.
Yeah.
I think, which I think is fine. Yeah, I think we'll just say it works, Lynn. You start painting the first kid's face. The other kids can't help but occasionally peek, look up, and then the interest grows, and the mood in the room just shifts as you move on to the second face and the third face. And soon everybody is clamoring. All the kids are asking to be a platypus possum next.
And very happily we're going to oblige because sad kids are the worst. Okay.
Is this Will speaking or Lynn speaking?
Yeah.
Or both? Yeah.
Sensing a little bit of projection here.
I love it. Excellent work. Let us cut back to Jing Min and Fumi.
All right. Yeah, so the mecha are dead, right? The lights are back on.
The alarm has stopped.
The alarm stopped.
The mechs have platypus possum faces painted on them?
Yes. The split
We
party
are-
is joining.
Yeah, we are so close. We're about to go into another exchange. You can do
Yeah.
something. Yeah, we can do something outside of the exchange that's appropriate fictionally that could alter things. You could try to exit the exchange, or you could try to finish off these automata.
Do you know what's so funny? I basically knew that there's going to be some kind of like encounter or something terrible that happens down here, protecting the vault. And I have like a move or two that I can use. One that I would love to use is winning is everything. That's the one like when you use dirty tactics. But you definitely cannot use that against mecha. They're not.
Yeah.
sentients.
Yep. There's definitely a fictional component required there.
The last sentence of it, I'd love to see how a mecha would call out my disgraceful behavior and lack of integrity. But
How dare you?
he just points at me and thumbs down.
Yeah. So either of you, what do you choose?
Yeah, I think Fumi, now that she's on her little air scooter, is ready to advance and attack again.
Awesome. Jing Min?
I will evade and observe.
Okay.
We're taking turns doing things.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, let me see if I have any cool moves in defend and maneuver. Honestly, nothing feels that interesting to me. And I think I have found something. You're both at 5 fatigue, correct?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. The I was gonna throw this at Fumi, but the truth is that Fumi is now moving quickly through the dark. And they have a better read on Jing Min's location because of the clamp. The retractable projectile claw. So I've got to say it's probably you, Jing Min, who's targeted by this. But we're going to say defend and maneuver for this round, and that means they will go first.
That's fine.
And they use a move called Shock Bolus.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
That doesn't sound good.
Throw a
doesn't at
disc
all.
bola with 3 tethers and an electric generator at a foe. They must mark 3 fatigue to dodge, or the bola catches them, instantly inflicting impaired and stunned.
This is defend and maneuver.
It is defend and maneuver. Would you believe it?
I guess a good defense
Also-
is a great offense.
Also,
all right.
what's Shadowpaw doing?
It's a great question. I think Shadowpaw will also advance an attack. So that'll happen right after this resolves. But for you, Jing Min, you see the shock bolus illuminate the room once again with electricity. I am so curious. Do you accept being impaired and stunned? Or do you mark 3 fatigue?
Well, I'm already impaired. So I'd
Indeed.
really only be stunned.
Okay.
And you know, I was too scared to do anything in this combat anyways. And that's a lot better than marking 3 conditions and going to 2 conditions left.
That's
So
true.
I'm just gonna yeah, Jing Min begins to convulse.
Okay.
Congratulations, Steve. You just electrocuted a 12-year-old.
Thank you so much.
Oh my god.
So what I think this means then is that you can't act or respond for the duration of this exchange.
Yep.
So you will not get to evade and observe. Let's go to Fumi and then Shadowpaw.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll. So that is a 6 plus 2. Oh, wait, it is passion, right?
Let's see. I believe so.
Yes.
For advance and
so
attack,
6
right?
plus 2 is 8. So sorry, I was just looking at favored again. So I could do an additional attack.
That's right.
Yeah, so
An additional basic or mastered technique, even if you rolled a miss, but you have not. But you can do an additional thing.
yeah, sorry. Excuse me. Well, yeah, so the first thing that she's going to do then is like she sees them attacking Jing Min and she is angry. She is gonna be like, "Hey, rust buckets, over here!" and like just throws a huge blast of wind at them for strike.
Okay. All right. So there's strike, and then we're doing a second thing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And let's see. With strike, you force them to mark 2 fatigue, a condition, or shift balance from center, their choice. You can't mark the optional fatigue to choose it for me. But I'm feeling generous here, Nikki. I think... Oh, since you have another move coming, I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to mark a condition, which in the case of these bots means I have to eliminate a module. And so the module that you are destroying here, let's go there.
Just destroy the bolasses.
That does not have its own module, I'm sorry to say. The module that breaks here is, yes, the high-speed servo module is what it's called. In other words, you have now permanently removed their ability to strike.
Nice. Okay, and for her second attack, I mean, she can't smash because no fatigue.
Yeah. And Danny, do you remember if we can just choose strike twice?
I believe you cannot.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Then in that case, she's gonna do It's Like We're Dancing, and so she's gonna like after they're hit by this, she's going to release the air scooter to just like go around them again and try to get their attention off of Jing Min. So basically, the wind is just gonna whip around them, trying to distract them.
Okay. I would love to just take a peek at It's Like We're Dancing again. Let's see.
I get to clear 1 fatigue and inflict impaired on them.
Okay. Clear that fatigue. I'll inflict impaired. That is powerful. And here, I'll give this to you guys because I'm very excited about it. The bots will mark a fatigue to clear impaired. You see them exert themselves, and a bunch of sparks fly, and a final electrical surge illuminates the room, following shortly after the bolas faded out. There is a jitteriness and a screeching to their motion now. And you've set this up perfectly with everything that you've done, Fumi. You watch, illuminated by these sparks, Shadowpaw plant a firm kick at the center of each servo structure, and they collapse. The rust buckets clatter against the ground. The noise is deafening and echoes up through the vault ceiling. And everything is suddenly very quiet. You have won.
Fumi takes a few deep breaths, like trying to make sure they don't get back up.
Jing Min is still like lying down, just like jittering a little bit.
Jing Min! And then like Fumi like hurries over to try and like free her from the bolas.
I don't know if the electricity was probably not. That was probably like deactivated, but
Yeah. The sun was just for a short time.
Yeah.
But you were both in the projectile claw and a bola, so you needed to get untangled.
God.
Yeah.
That was. We need to move to the door. And Jing Min will start crawling in the wrong direction.
It's not
She's
that
not
way.
using her sensing right now.
Hold on, let me help you. Fumi tries to like just pick her up and like put an arm around her.
Are the lights still off, Steve?
They are, but Shadowpaw is able to produce a small light from a device.
Okay.
That she holds up now to illuminate a section of the vault. And as she does, without the battle to distract you, you see that the vault door is just slightly open.
No. Was it open before?
It was not. Your memory is clear as day. We're in luck, says Shadowpaw. The EMP seems to have done it.
Let's go get it. And Fumi starts like taking Jing Min with her, like going that way.
Shadowpaw limps forward, nursing a wound with her offhand, holding the light with the other. And you move towards the vault. Danny, what were you going to say?
Jing Min definitely knocks an arrow. and keeps like half drawn.
Okay.
Oh God, I wish we could just sleep right now.
You hear behind you as you move towards the vault door the sound of the distinctive echoing of the ladder rungs being hit foot by foot, boot by boot, as people descend. People are on their way. Just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yes. Yes.
And you step in. Do you not? Is there anything else you do besides draw an arrow?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll step in.
Okay.
Yeah, we step in.
Yeah, your presence as you step through the door seems to activate the lights inside of this vault proper. And all of a sudden, illuminated before you are a bunch of relics, ancient treasures, ones that you've never seen before, ones that you can't help but know what they are, even though you haven't seen them, and ones that are totally obscure, the story of which are totally unclear to you.
There's like some really cool looking things, like a gigantic sword that looks like a dragon's wing. And like we would just love to hear the story of like where that is from.
Totally.
Yeah.
There are weapons just like that. There's shuriken, stilettos, knives, and sai. There's a tsungi horn. There's a random monkey statue that seems very entrancing. It's got this monkey baring its teeth with bejeweled eyes and a necklace of red gems. There's little...
the statue of Boo like takes that little thing from.
100%.
It's very Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Okay.
There's a bison whistle. There's statuettes of the Painted Lady. And there's the crown of the Phoenix King.
Oh.
Of all things. And most important, in the back center of this pile of protected antiquities, the staff of Avatar Aang. Good.
Yeah.
Shadowpaw manages. But we need a plan of escape.
Fumi just like hands Jing Min to Shadowpaw and then walks over and then takes the like ink staff off the thing and holds it steady.
Okay.
And she turns and's like, I say we tell them the truth. Show them
What?
this fault.
The personnel coming down after us now?
I doubt all of them are controlled by the Red Lotus. Some of them are airbenders who think they're following what Tenzin wants.
That's an approach I hadn't considered.
That's still riding on a lot of luck, I feel like, Fumi.
Well, they're blocking our only exit, so we have to take what chance we can.
Okay, I'm gonna hide though, and I'm gonna aim my arrow at the head of the one closest to you, just in case something goes wrong. Okay?
Okay. Deal.
All right. Then Jing Min just goes and like I imagine there's just like a pile of
Fumi,
currency. And Jing Min will just dive into that.
That's
While
fine.
waiting-
Pile of currency.
while waiting for the people to get closer, Fumi's also going to grab the flying bison horn.
Oh, the bison whistle or the tsungi horn?
Whistle, yeah, the bison
Yeah.
whistle. I'm sorry. Whichever
It's
one's
like
all
a
good.
louder.
war horn.
Tsungi
Actually,
horn is louder. The flying bison
the
whistle
tsungi
is so quiet.
Okay, never mind. The Tsungi horn. We'll do that.
It's like a dog whistle, but for flying bison. I forget if it's just like
Got
air.
you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
bad.
the tsungi horn is like what Uncle Iroh plays. It looks a little bit like a French horn type of deal. size.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna grab that.
Okay. I'm so curious. I mean, continue. Yeah, tell us. What do you do with the tsungi horn?
So she goes back to the door and like just pushes it open. And while like the people are coming down and probably like getting ready to battle or whatever, she is going to blow it as loud as she can to just like to get all their attention and get them quiet.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be quite arresting to be like coming down to go after people and someone just blows a tsungi horn at you.
Yep.
I think it's fun to see the impact of a roll here, though I don't think it's hard for you to blow a horn very loudly, especially if you're using any airbending to assist.
Yeah. I mean, if it helps, I am about to try wielding my reputation.
Okay. And so would that mean that it's good for me to suggest a roll that you replace with that? Or is it like you can trigger something independently? I forget.
There is a roll with that.
Okay. And you'll have your chance, right?
So actually, I have to mark one. Oh, wait, I did get rid of a fatigue for that, so I can't mark a fatigue.
You did, Nikki! You did!
Oh my gosh.
You have one fatigue to spare. Okay, we'll leave this then. You blow the tsungi horn, and I'll say a bunch of people shuffle in here. Someone goes over to that panel that you guys were messing with for all the defenses and stuff, and they move the switches in a sequence, and at least some backup light turns on. So the room is dimly lit now. You see about 20 people, most of them airbenders by appearance. Tenzin is not among them. So it seems that he is still unconscious. But they do all halt and just look agape as you blow this horn at them from the vault.
Fumi like looks at each of them, like she knows their names. She is just like making sure that they see her. And she's like, if you came down here, then you saw where that door was. You know that this place is under Tenzin's office. And look behind us. Look behind me. This is full of all the missing relics. It had Aang's staff. And she holds it up for them to see. You and I both know that Tenzin wouldn't want to hurt the airbending nation at all. He's been trying so hard to reclaim that heritage for his family and for all of us. And the only explanation is that he is being mind controlled. You guys know me, and I ask you to help me restore this.
That is quite an accusation and quite a story, says Jaruna. But before we see the result of this, I do think this is time for the reputation roll. Wielding your reputation.
Wait, oh gosh.
Mark the last fatigue.
So I just rolled a 9 plus, I think it's plus the +2 reputation. That's your reputation, yeah. So that
okay. And the move here that I think we do need to specify. Let's see. You're trying to expand your reputation, denying a call out.
Really enough, it doesn't say what to do on a 10 or 11.
Yeah, that's fine. It would be a success then if it's a 10 or 11. If it's a 12 plus on something similar further down, then there's special effect.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which I actually realize now how rare that is to see a 12 plus But I guess it's because this is adding a significant stat on top of potentially a high roll already.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's see. It would be added. It's not in place of. It's just added. It's stacked on an appropriate stat. And so I'm going to say that this is a push your luck to persuade whatever section of this crowd is not brainwashed, but guards things of such importance and work alongside Tenzin.
I mean, your luck is a passion, and I have a +2 passion.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't actually know what your passion stat was offhand, so I was wondering if I was about to hurt you in your roll. Okay,
no, you
so
significantly helped.
So what was your base, Nikki?
2.
Dice?
Oh, sorry, my base dice was 9.
Okay, so 9 plus 2 for passion, and now +2 for reputation. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that still puts you at 11, 13. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Excellent.
And
let's see, there's additional effects depending on your reputation nature, and yours is protector, right?
yeah, but this was a push your luck and not a guide and comfort, so I don't know if that would affect anything.
Oh, does it say that it only applies to that? Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm reading wield your reputation. It's just to a stat an appropriate move of someone towards your base. On a miss, on a 12 plus, you get a benefit. But I see what you're saying. As a protector, it would only apply to that sub move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, you read faster than I do, Nikki.
But the nice thing is that she doesn't get that that cost from the 7 to 9 effect.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So you don't have to mark any conditions or anything like that. In other words, this is just a successful push your luck because of your reputation. Some of these airbenders look at you, Nikki or Fumi, and there's a shift in their expressions as they turn to Jaruna and say, but she does speak some truth, no? How can this be? And one or two of them gesture at the vault and at the staff of Avatar Aang. And you have sown the seeds of dissent in this group. I think the consequence of the push your luck, because I don't think this is what Fumi would wholeheartedly want, is that they start to turn on each other. The argument escalates quickly, and soon they're throwing hands. They were prepared for a fight when they came down here, but they were not prepared to direct their energy on each other. And so you watch a fight start to break out with some very capable airbenders in the mix. I think this is honestly a rare case where it's simultaneously the added benefit. The opportunity that falls in your lap is a diversion. Yeah. Whereby you may be able to get past this group and go back up the ladder.
Yeah, Fumi directs like Jing Min and Shadowpod to go around.
Just out of the mound of like coins, Jing Min just crawls out and just crawls past the group of airbenders, or tries to at least, without being noticed.
Yeah. Oh. I think. I think there's a stealth thing here that Shadowpod, despite her injury, can enhance. So I'll mark what I need to here. And the dim light that you step out into in the vault, you see some of the light and shadow shift around your feet and kind of like condense as you step out of it and move to the edge of the room. And while some folks initially start to go after you, Jaruna included, by the time they get to the vault door, there's no one there. And under the cover of Shadowpaw's shadow manipulation, you are able to get to the ladder. I'm not going to require a roll. I will say, though, that we have to deal with one more thing before you're scot-free.
No. I was gonna say I was so tempted to try to just snatch something from the vault, but I think Jing Min has
I'm
burned
tempted
too
to
much.
also grab that flying bison whistle, actually.
Yeah.
We need a flying bison to show up.
I mean, I won't stop you if you say now that you grab it. It's just a whistle.
Yeah.
I mean, we are running low on cash, and Jing Min wasn't a mound of cash. So can we just say that
Oh
Jing
my
Min,
gosh.
while she was crawling, she just had the cash in her hands?
That's hilarious, and I won't stop you. You can add some cash to your inventory.
So 2
Yeah.
Jing Min handfuls. Heck yeah.
Now, Fumi's gonna take the whistle as well, just in case they need a quick escape.
Okay. As you ascend this ladder, the sounds of the struggle fade beneath you in the chamber. You get to the top of the ladder. It's a latch door, which is unlatched from when folks descended. You're back in Tenzin's office, and he is stirring. I'm curious what you do, if anything, Fumi. As your head pops out at the top of the ladder, you lock eyes with Tenzin, and he just seems dazed and unfocused. Fumi. Is that you?
Knock him out again.
Fumi jumps up and pats his shoulder and is like, "We're gonna help you somehow, so just stay here."
All right. Something's not right here.
Yeah, more than not right. We'll figure that out later.
That staff. It seems familiar.
Yeah,
Jing
it's your
Min will-
father's staff.
Jing Min will crawl out. Oh man. I was really gonna try
Fumi's,
to have Jing Min speak
letting them go
before
behind her.
Fumi.
Yeah, Shadow 5,
It's
I'm
still-
shuffling. Jing Min is shuffling by. My father. Well, I'm glad to see the staff is recovered.
Do you not remember where it was?
His eyes begin to focus again, Fumi. Wait. You're not supposed to be here. They put
Oh,
out
boy.
notice for you. And then he looks over at the latch door. I was ordered to protect that door. What have you done? Tenzin slowly
Knock him out
begins
again.
to push himself up, propping himself up.
Oh, why?
Okay. Jing Min.
Fumi?
Wait,
Yeah.
sorry. Do you? Jing Min's firing a bolas arrow.
I was gonna say, Fumi's gonna be like, "Sorry about this," and use a staff to whack Tenzin over the head.
Yes.
Hello?
Wait. Let's do both. That way he can't catch himself on the ladder as he falls.
Porque no
No,
los
we're
dos.
not knocking him down
I'm kidding.
there. Just
The
knocking him
bolas arrow.
out.
The bolas arrow is around his legs, so he can still grab on things. Oh, I thought you meant knock him down the latch.
No, just knock him out. Fumi's not trying to kill him.
Oh, this is excellent. Yeah, no roll needed. You have the advantage, the upper hand here. You smack Tenzin with his own father's staff.
Oh, no.
Jing Min fires a bolas arrow, and it wraps around his body. He wasn't fully standing yet, so it just kind of goes around his torso. Ooh, and he just falls back and slumps against the wall. Fumi, I think you've broken some ground today. in your relationship with your esteemed mentor.
Sorry, Tenzin, and then Fumi like leaves.
I don't think there are further rolls here. You make it out of the building with most of the personnel having diverted their attention to the area below.
Heck yeah.
You make it to the edge of the water of Air Temple Island. Oh, thank goodness, says Joe when you come into sight.
I forgot we had Joe.
Let's scram. And you hop into the steel boat that was provided to you and shuttle away with Aang's staff.
Hey, Joe, we finished a whole mission and the boat's still in one piece. Look at us.
If only my car was so lucky. Maybe I should just drive a boat from now on.
Everything's a sign, and you don't choose your destiny.
Fumi just like sits down in the boat, like holding on to Aang's staff, like her life depends on it, and she's like slumped against it, like ready to fall asleep.
Yeah. Let's just get back to the library.
And I'm sure everyone
kids look
catches a
deep.
glimpse of Jing Min putting 2 large handfuls of cash into her bag.
Not Fumi, she was too out of it,
Oh,
luckily
okay.
for Min.
Excellent. We cut as your boat motors away into the night. I think we end tonight on Amuk Sur. Amuk, you have escaped the grounds. You are more than fatigued, I would say. Also quite beat up like your compatriots minus linen cloth.
Oh my god.
Anything in particular that you do? I want to give you free reign before I assume that you just go back to the library, but
Amuk is going to make a quick detour back to Dumpy's real quick by himself.
okay. All right. Yeah, you pop in. It's late at night, but you find that chef cleaning up at the end of the day, and it looks like the place has been busy. Lots of crumbs everywhere, soup stains, the whole thing.
Perfect. Amuk's gonna walk in and just like take stock of everything and just look everything over and go back into our office in the back of Dumpy's and just kind of sit down for a minute.
Hi there, boss / partial owner.
Hey, how was it today?
It was full. It's been full every day.
Good. Would you mind, before you finish closing up, can you get me just 6 soup dumplings for me?
Sure thing, boss.
Just bring it to the office when you have a chance.
Right away. Man, could I use soup dumplings right now? Anyway.
You can make some for yourself too. You know, you can eat here for free, right?
That was Steve talking. I'm sorry, guys. I broke through. I was like, I just need soup dumplings.
Just dim sum in general. Like, I need dim sum to be late night food to everyone. The world. Let's stop doing dim sum only in the morning.
Yeah.
I want dim sum at 2 in the morning. 3.
He brings you your portion and leaves you to your office. Anything else that you do?
Yeah, Amuk is going to take his time and just enjoy his food. Enjoy the fact that everything that they have there is being built up, and he's gonna sit down and write a few letters. And just slowly make his way through everything to just, kind of like really take everything in and just take a moment to decide if whether or not he wants to wait here for President Moon or go back to the library.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also just so tired. So tired.
Yeah. I think, Gus, that I'll give you this because I'm not sure if you remembered this detail, but you handed instructions to President Moon as directed. And so whether or not she can make it to Dumpy's for whatever you intended for that, she does have what was intended for her from the librarian.
Okay.
I don't think she'd be able to get away from the mansion tonight, and so you can enjoy your dumplings and your letters. And we fade on that scene. I'm curious if you want to tell us anything about the letters, or if you want to save that, Gus.
I'm just gonna save that. That's for me and Amuk right now.
Yeah. Okay. I think we just see a fade in again on everyone returning to the library. Lynn, after occupying these children and shifting the mood in the whole library and covering many faces with paint and joy, you see your battered friends come through the door. Safe.
Thank God. Lynn is going to abandon a child mid-face paint. So sorry.
No.
I'll be back.
We're just all limping in back to the library
Yeah.
and tied out.
Fumi is like using Aang's staff as a little cane to help her.
Jing Min is still smoking.
Everybody else is walking in so hurt, and Lynn just has like balls of paint. Whoa. Okay, so I take it your missions weren't nearly as fun.
I just want a bed.
Oh, okay. Let me. And Lynn's gonna go over and help Fumi. Let's get you
Collapse.
going.
Like, she holds up the staff, like she collapses on the bed and then like holds up the staff next to her. Is like, we got the staff, and then her arm just falls.
I'll take care of that. You're good.
Yeah. I think as they see the staff, slowly there's a trickle of applause. And it starts just mounting until the whole library is full of people clapping from the different levels, looking over and realizing what has happened as you have returned victorious with a symbol of that victory. And we close. Fades to black. I think it would be really fun to just cut to a bright sunny day where Republic City downtown is just covered in decorations and banners with the likeness of Tao Gasha in a red velvet suit, smiling contentedly. And we zoom in on all the microphones that surround a podium, not yet occupied, crowds that have pressed in, cheering, and they are waiting for a speech from President Moon. And we'll see what happens next time. This was our third to last episode on Relics of the New Republic.
Oh my god.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you next week.
Bye.
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 Bye. For those who are still hanging with us, we are about to do a little raid Z. Copy that message in the Twitch chat, please.
We didn't even do an ad break. I just realized.
Oh,
No,
you're right.
I missed that at about 5 a.m. I was like, shoot, I'm supposed to do this now, and I don't feel like it.